Goo Goo Gaga. Oh my god, is this thing live? What number is it today? 299. Wow. Tomorrow is 300. On the third day of the week. Very cool. Let me see. Goo Goo Gaga indeed. Anyways, hello G-Talk. That's my pin Torres. I don't have any updates. However, because of what's happening at work, where the way decisions are made are very much based on priority, I think the UI for the website portfolio part should be expedited, should be simplified and expedited. I think the website should be brought online as soon as possible because it is kind of a little bit annoying to get stuck. And then once that is done, we can choose to work on the more artsy side of it, a little bit more slowly and more deliberately, and also experiment with some things here and there, that kind of stuff. Oh, I just remembered I blocked the. Oops. Wait a second. I'm trying to log into Pinterest, but I just remembered I blocked it yesterday. So I literally cannot see the pop-up for login. It's just so stupid. Okay, now that it's done, I can because today is doing Ria sketches, so I do need some references up. But anyways, what's I talking about? Right, yeah, simplify the design and just get it online. You can see the rep collection here. It's still kind of going very slowly. I think the UI mostly will go in sort of a direction of like what Arknight's Enfield and just Arknights in general kind of has, right? Maybe not to that extent of detail, but maybe more along these lines where the background's a lot more muted. It's a lot more gray rather than black, and you get like a little bit of noise and texture perhaps, so that all the art pieces may stand out a little bit more against the background. Maybe not. I'm not really sure, but yeah. Anyways, that is the plan. Because once that is out of the way, I can return my focus back to getting the analysis engine actually useful. Because as of right now, it is just a shell. And then if we can bring that online, we can actually use it on stream, which is probably a lot more value than doing a portfolio website that I don't even intend on really using to find jobs with. You know, it's not like I'm trying to find commissions here. So the portfolio website isn't necessarily that important. I mean, if I were to be finding jobs, then I wouldn't even bother that much with the design in the first place. I think we would have just gotten something done real quick. Alright, so that's a bit of a miscellaneous rant about that. I am trying to find references. So today I need to get the 4 sketches here ready. Figure out what to do with face body over here. And then take a quick look at these guys and see if I can, how I want to approach it. But then other than that, it's the same as before. How do I take screenshots again? Right. So we need like 4 ideas. I think we just do like some miscellaneous poses here and there. How did I get here? Oh. Let's get here. This is Faye, yeah. So who is Faye? Yeah, it is Faye's picture, but Faye would have pictures of Ria on the walls. We don't need anything very too detailed, but we do need something. And I was considering whether if she, like, let's say like she has a photo of herself and Ria in the same piece, in the same photo, would she hate herself so much that she would scratch it out? I don't know. But I think it's an interesting thought to consider. But regardless, I just realized my Discord is not even on. Let me send my link here and then wait for my Discord to load. Discord is loaded. Send my link over here. Where is it? The Viz Dailies, indeed. Oh, there's people. What are people posing in the... Okay. I was looking at general and NSFW. I was trying to see what people are doing. But anyways. Oh, this is pretty interesting. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. What am I looking at? Oh, just a lot of chromatic aberration. I was wondering what that was. It looked like they did a line work for everything in a very consistently colorful way or something. It's just chromatic aberration. Okay. But it is an even shift though. I guess it's only for... No, it's done on... What's happening here? Oh, these almost look painted in, like over here. But probably isn't. It's probably the line art that's getting affected. Oh, but it's consistently everywhere, except for the character. Huh. That is interesting. Oh yeah, how detailed were the details here? So just more blobs and then more blobs, more blobs. Okay, agreeable. Very, very agreeable. I think the saturation of the image is something that I probably wouldn't like to do myself. It is pretty saturated. There is no more cohesive sort of grouping of colors and tone, or rather values. It's not like one area is green and one area is blue, that kind of vibe. And then it's not like one area is really dark and one area is really bright. Very interesting indeed. Yeah, this one I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm looking at the details on the curtains, and it makes a lot of sense. You know, I wouldn't want to render it either. But like, it doesn't really... I don't know. It doesn't feel complete in my heart still. But then I feel like something like this, if you use 3D, for example, to render it, it would be... Would it not be a little bit too stiff? I think at some point we have to tackle this. Currently, I do not have the answer. I feel like a lot of these sort of decisions that I made are... It ends up just being like, hey, you know what? This just takes too much effort. I guess I have to compromise here. And I just accept it. But until then, it's just like, yeah... Oh, they don't have a lot of poster pieces. Huh. This is nice. Ooh, the glass representation here. I can't tell if those strokes, the texture is meant to be the glass. Because it doesn't feel like the glass would be that rough. But I guess it's just there to show presence. What music it is Animal Crossing. I have no idea what you guys are hearing, by the way. Because I'm hearing different set. I'm actually contemplating today if I should just not turn on music. So you guys can play whatever you guys want to play. Definitely let me know if you think that is that makes more sense. Oh yeah, thank you, Deve. You like it? Okay, okay. I figured. I figure it's probably because you like it. I think that's what tends to be the case when someone asks for the specific music, which is good. Which is good because I have never heard this before. Whatever that you guys are hearing, I'm not also not hearing it now, so I was kind of worried that it might not be that good. But I chose it based off of vibes that I have chosen all the other ones based off, and so far it seems to be working. Like my assessment of the music seems to be okay. So I just wanted something different than Genshin music for like 3 hours. But regardless, thank you, Deve. Very cool. I can feel the difference a little bit better. Looking at some of the things now, I think like the more rendery stuff, the more painterly stuff used to be very hard to evaluate. Now, because I have a little bit more experience, I can feel the difference in sort of decision making and sort of your your own tendencies, I would say, right? Because like a lot of these doesn't feel necessarily, it's not like a very clinical approach per se. You're kind of putting colors in there and then you're trying to find shapes and using a lot of textures and a lot of different hues to sort of make things more vibrant. Whereas I think personally I would prefer something that's a lot more clinical, where you are selecting this entire, say, the leaf layer. You're very clinical with what colors that go in and the specific shapes that are going in. Not to say that they're putting down haphazardly, but then relatively speaking, all these like textures in here everywhere, I think I would tend to not have them if I continue down this road that I'm doing. But we'll see, we'll see. Very interesting. Thank you, Deve. I actually kind of feel feeling kind of warm today. Huh. Let me take off my jacket real quick. Oh. Yeah. My own music's kind of ass though. What should I do? Maybe I do like 3 hours of marking Garrick's. Here it is. Ready? Okay. So we just need some photos here. Since we're trying to establish this meme nonsense here. I do have to kind of think about I mean, yeah, I just have to keep the ratios of the stuff here. I'm not gonna think too much if it makes sense or not, if the sizes make sense or not. So it would just be whatever. The intermediary sequence here. I don't know what poses she would be in. It would just be like miscellaneous poses, I guess. Haven't set up Ria in a while. Let me see. And when this completes, we're gonna have to start delving into After Effects. But I do have to set up payment for that because it's all paid. Being that it's Adobe. So if it's not ready, I will have to just go back to doing to do the animation one, which is fine too, because we'll soon have a spot for everything to go for presenting. I'm hoping to get the website ready by the end of this week. Like, ready in the sense that, like, the UI design and stuff, I just want to settle on something quick. It's very ambitious, I would say. Settling on UI is going to be a lot harder than settling on a specific technical sort of structure behind the website, but I don't want to let it drag on anymore. To be fair, I think from like you guys' perspective, it hasn't necessarily even dragged on per se, because we just kind of just started doing the shit. And I spent most of my time on the analysis engine, and the analysis engine is, you know, essentially sort of set up. We just need the algorithms. Regardless. I would like to get a move on. Reset the line. It is more stable than expected. Oh, right. And we haven't drawn her in so long. I kind of forgot that I skip the nose sometimes. And I just use the scar to mark the nose. But this changes the balance of things a little bit. But yeah. Well, actually, this should be like a full body shot, maybe like an amusement park or something. Like maybe a big ass hat or something. And then like this can be like a more of a sideways thing. No, this would be the selfie maybe. So this would be like to Faye and Ria over here. I don't know what this would be. Landscape. A square could be like a more of like a zoom in. Maybe this would be the one. Oh my, this balance. This balance is breaking. Evaluation here. Because the map. Okay, I see. Landscape, huh? We'll think about that later, I suppose. Got these guys sorted out first. Yeah, it's too small for it to matter so much. I don't even know how much I can show, actually. I don't have that many pixels. I have to keep drawing and actually rendering the face. We'll see. Okay, I also don't know if I want to turn these into full sketches or not. And then have them colored. Alright, do need to get references for this. Dang it. Okay, here we go again. Target 1, target 2. Oops. The map is reading a little bit. It's interesting. Hello, Uni. No, this is the photos on the walls. And these will be the photos on the... Okay, there's no need for us to draw to this level of fidelity and resolution, but it is kind of like a break. I think we haven't drawn Ria in a while. Nice to just do some sketches. We might turn these into like color sketches and then just re-import it back and then maybe paint over a little bit so that the details don't look like they're all muddied. But just merge some shapes or something. Where have I seen this post before? God damn it. The same one. Ah. だとしたらどうしようかにゃ. Keep and then perch. Reset here. Oh shit. Wait, is Yvonne's banner out? Is that what that is? Did I do dailies yesterday? Shit, I forgot. Congratulations though. Is Yvonne a good character? I see a lot of people getting very excited for her. I don't think I'll be pulling for her, for sure. Maybe she'll appear in the next banner when I pull for, like, maybe she'll, like, appear whenever I pull for a banner. I don't know who's coming out next. She's not that much better than Standard's 5 stars. Nice. Feels good to have like everything that you need right now. And then right at the beginning of the banner too, right? So you get to just chill out. Not worry too much. Until the next banner. Banana. What do I want to sequence it? I don't know. R for 1 copy. Oh. Oh, it doesn't unlock on potential 0. Oh yeah, there's a potential 0, isn't there? Says the programmer. Oh, counting starts from 0. Wow. Didn't see that one coming. There's also the R for like the profile thing. Right, a profile card. I wonder how many potential that takes. I only just realized yesterday that there's also Hello Curio. Because I realized I have Poggers, but I don't have that thing unlocked. I guess I don't have any duplicates. Well, I don't have any duplicates at all. But oh, it's max potential? Holy shit, okay. I remember seeing like a YouTube short yesterday, and they were saying like how the scariest people in Enfield right now are the people who have Yvonne max potential. But I think that was before Yvonne's banner came out, so they are scary indeed if they have max potential Yvonne. It's a very unhinged behavior. It's crazy. Ah, interesting, interesting. So that's how I got Levitaine. I thought I just got lucky or something. So like the initial characters are super easy to get, relatively speaking, right? Because like the 50-50 is gonna basically... There's only like 3 of them right now. Too bad they're probably not gonna be that relevant in a couple years, I suppose. Oh, they rotate. Ah. Right. That would make sense. Otherwise, the newer ones that just have like the rates are gonna get so much lower. People are not gonna be happy. I see. I don't know how I feel about. Nice to have the characters, I suppose. I don't have any character that I really like. So I think if they're just cute enough, I'll just pull for them. If I get it, I get it. If I don't get it, it's fine. What is the approach on this? Relax sequence, I think it was. Oh, okay. Targeting rock. Very cool. Oh yeah, I do like Tang Tang. Apparently she uses a gun. So despite all the martial arts shit that they're showing for her, she just kind of pulls out the gun and shoots people. Definitely gonna get that. Definitely not because she's skimpily dressed or anything like that, of course. For the plot, of course. For the plot. Let me see. Oh yeah, we have to pull the main line. I think it's fine. Symmetry, force 2, down the middle. Oops. Oh, right. Forgot about this. Get out of here. Oh, but the head is the only thing that's not symmetrical. Right, but yeah, the alignment requires this. Just leave it for now. Oh, sorry about that. I hit my mic. Oh. Like, wow, amazing. Duvet was asking for music before too. I have no idea what you guys are hearing, by the way. I've never heard this. I've never played this on stream before, and I can't hear it now. So it's just Animal Crossing inspired playlist. I'm hoping it's not copyrighted. Gotta be honest, I thought this was just Animal Crossing music, but I'm looking at it now and it's not. I don't know if there's gonna be copyright on this one, actually, now that I look at it, but I guess we find out. It'd be so ironic if we got taken off anyways. Ugh. I hate this new UI of the studio. I have so much wasted space. I can't see anything. I have to do it like this, I think. Yeah, trying to get the photos on the walls. That is hard. As always. Don't know what I'm doing. The requirements for her is always a lot higher. Even if I try to lower it. I see. That's an interesting thought. Forget. Oops. I do need the Persona. Why so bad? Let's see. Skill issue right here. What would I do if I was bored with drawing? I mean, the question inherently implies that I'm always interested in drawing, when I'm drawing, which is not true. I just draw more when I'm bored. Like, it's less of... How do I say this? Like, art is a skill that I need. And as a result, there is no such thing as getting bored. You just kind of draw always. You just keep drawing. I'm kind of somewhat always bored with drawing because it's just a chore for the most part. Also, hello, Antares. I don't know if this makes sense, right? Because like it's not like art is necessarily that fun. For the most part, it is just a lot of work. It is just a big grind. So it wouldn't be so far as to say that I'm kind of bored right now. It's not necessarily. It's definitely not as engaging at this current level here. You need to be able to speak art as a language, just like how you speak English. How I speak English, for example, for it to be truly free and fun. I think all the time, which is hard. I don't know actually. There is a slight difference between bored and just kind of grinding it out. There's a slight difference. I don't quite know what the difference is at this point. But my instinct is just saying that, you know, if I'm bored, there is no such thing as bored. You just have to keep working at it. So go back to work. Is how I would say it. Or maybe a better way to phrase it is not that it's not go back to work. Maybe it's like if you're bored, for example, maybe try to I would think about the fact that I have all these ideas, I have all these dreams that I want to do, and then I don't have the skills to do it. And then I guess either I would get inspired to do it, or I get desperate enough to ignore it. I guess just grind it out. Yeah. If you got burned out, of course, you shouldn't. So okay, let me put it this way, right? There is a slight difference between the bored and continue to grind versus burnout. Burnout is like you're very mentally fatigued at doing this process, right? You're doing this process so many times, it's not fun, it's not engaging, and you don't have a very sort of good motivator at this point in time, and then you feel really burnt out, you're spent. Then you should definitely step away from art. You should definitely take a break. You should do something else that you find fun, and then you should come back. I have done that many times in the past. Right, it's different from boring, in the sense like boring can just be like, because you can be drawing bodies all day and stuff like that. It would be boring, but you're not mentally burned out per se. You're just still pretty engaged in drawing. Right, you can do this. It'll be boring because you've done this pose like maybe 10,000 times, but you're not burnt out per se. I think what you're feeling is more the burnout part, which I do think you should probably take a break. You know, it's not a bad time when you're burnt out to really ask yourself again, like, hey, what is it that I, you know, really want to get out of art? And how badly do I want it? Right? Do you want to be at like a super duper high level? If yes, then look at the amount of effort you've put in so far and look at your progress. Does it make sense to you? Like, think about how much further you have to go, maybe, and see if that's the kind of life you want. Like, let's say you've already spent like a couple hours a day drawing something, practicing for like the past few months, and you look at your progress, you're like, oh, I'm still so far away from being like a super good illustrator. So now you can think about, hey, if I want to get there, I'm gonna have to put so much more effort into this. And is that something I want? Or do I just want to draw, you know, something slightly simpler? Or do I want to compromise on my expectation? You don't have to be the best and most technical artist out there. It's when I figure out how I will always make a mistake and fail. It's interesting, right? It's interesting because that is the path forwards. So let me try and think about this, right? Because I feel like you want to practice colors. You're practicing, you're trying, and you're always failing, right? What you need are like smaller wins. If you can, say, for example, do a study of an image, any image, right? Any illustrator that you like, you can do a color study of that, and you can get it to pretty close to that, and then you can draw like a similar sort of theme piece where you use the same colors, and then you can get something nice out. If you can do that, that's like a nice small win for yourself, and then maybe you can practice in that manner, and then it will help you stay on the road. Because I imagine you get burnt out is because you're trying stuff and you're always failing. You don't feel like you're making progress. You don't really know how to make progress. You can ask people for advice. You can ask people to see if what you're doing right now makes sense. You can do a more controlled study where you study someone's color first and then try to use that. That increases the chances of success rate, I personally feel, because you have something to reference off of. Some of these ideas will work, or you can also just take a step back and just rest for a bit, I would say. It's kind of hard to, yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge exactly. I would definitely need more information, I think, if I were to want to like make a decision. If I was you, I would probably need a little bit more information, but some ideas, I suppose. Oh man, come on. This Pinterest is not working. Yeah, I mean, I think the best way is to find someone you trust that you know is good at art, and then to get some advice on your process. The reason why I say this is because even if the process is correct, at least personally, the process is always very painful. You're always kind of failing. You're always trying new things and failing, and trying new things and failing. And personally, I feel like that's just kind of how it has to go. Until you gain enough experience, you're pretty much guaranteed to make mistakes. So if you're giving up because you're constantly feeling like you're not hitting your expectations, I would personally think that, that is just part of the process. The expectations tend to be pretty high most of the time, because it's easy to imagine something good coming out of it, but it's really hard to execute it. So if you can be sure that your process is correct, then I would just keep working at it, even if it feels like it's very slow, or maybe it feels like it's slightly wrong, or you don't really feel so good about the outcome each time. Is how I think about it now. I think it's like a similar conversation we showed the other day about practicing. Trying to find hands, by the way, that holds the stupid ass bottle. Don't really want to deal with it myself, but I guess I have to. Alright. Target is pushing us. Okay. Yeah, this doesn't look very good. This one doesn't have to look very good. We really do not have enough pixels to deal with this. Gonna need some more help with that for sure. I hope I was coherent enough to make sense, I think. My brain's not in the right headspace right now to break down situations a little bit clearer and better. Because it's trying to generate ideas, so it's a little bit messed up. A little bit of a mess. Blah, blah, blah. Mm. Apparently they're not compatible. Oh man. Alright, let's do this. Controller. Lock in the sequence. Should I do the... I have to double check the bottle size too, actually. This might be too big. Entire size of your torso? Holy shit, that's huge. Oh, the music ended, right? Hmm. Since the same guy is really good at putting these lists together, I'm gonna get another video from the same guy. I'm gonna send the link preemptively this time. Now find out if we get copy strike to hell and back tonight. Oh, well, tomorrow, I guess. Maybe not to that extent, right? Something is not right here. I think it's the shoulder width. Sizing is a little bit too big, perhaps. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. trying to get her to be a little bit more awkward. I'm not gonna have the legs in the frame here. This size. Maybe I should. Alright, enough for setup. I'll be right back. Favorite artist? That's a great question because I don't know. Sorry, where did my pen go? What? What? I went to the toilet and come back, my pen's gone. Oh, why is it here? How did it get behind my tablet? But we don't have. I don't have one because there's too many. Like they'll have really good art. And let me think. As in, the answer to your question is I don't know. We just have I just have a rough idea of what kind of style I like. But I'm curious why I never really like a specific artist. Because like, if I like their art, then I will like them. Like their art consistently, no? Because it's the same style. Huh. I'm not sure. But currently there's a whole project going on in the back to try and set up a way to analyze images so that I can try and sort of narrow down my favorite artists a little bit more. Yeah, I apologize. My answers are never that simple. It's always a mess. I would like to know who too, actually. Like my favorite artist. Who might that be? We'll find out one day. Is my ruler on? What? Oh, it is on. Okay. Oh, I need a reference for this. I'm gonna mess this up. Um. You know what? I can figure this out, I think. It's mostly faces anyways. It should be fine here. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have a specific one that I really want to be like. There's always something that is good, and there's always something that is I want to be a little bit different. And I think that makes sense for everyone. That's probably true. But because there is that tiny bit of difference always, it never feels like they're the perfect, like my favorite artist. You know what I mean? Like it's where's my target actually? I can't even see this. I'm kind of blind here for some reason. It's kind of far. I think that's the problem. I don't know. I don't feel this key. The plan is to set up the analysis thing so I can find like a bunch of artists whose styles and rendering I do like. And then we slowly try to work towards that direction. And then along the way, adding our own preferences and improving our own workflow. And then that's how we're gonna arrive at our own style, per se. But it's not... I don't know if I'm using the word per se correctly. But I don't know if we'll ever find like artists where we're like, oh yeah, we want to be like this person. Like one for one, I want to be exactly like them. Wait, let me think. I'm pulling... Uh... body part that is hard to draw? Harder to draw. Body part that's hardest to draw? Usually these questions, there should be a very obvious answer. I think my problem today is that none of the answers are coming to me naturally, and I'm having issues breaking it down in my head. I don't know 100%. I think like faces are still pretty hard to draw, but faces you can kind of get away with some fixed angles. Certain angles that you always draw, you can kind of get away with just doing the same thing over and over. Hands are pretty hard to draw. It's kind of hard to hand wave like good, like to make it the hands look good. You really need to be able to draw hands to draw it well. But in terms of me personally, I think like feet is also pretty hard because we don't really practice it. But I'll still say hands, I think, because hands are way more visible than feet most of the time. Everything else you can kind of hand wave it a little bit. I think the pelvis is also kind of hard to draw, the hips in general. Like this connection where the legs come out is pretty hard to get right most of the time for me. I'll say hands though. I'll still say hands though. Everything else you can kind of hand wave it a little bit, but hands are, you can't really cheat. People will see it. It will be relevant. It's gonna always be a struggle, I imagine, to be honest. Like, the ideals that we have in our heads is so hard to hit. 100%. I need to be careful with this line. Yeah, ability to compromise. Honestly, if you want to, yeah, if we want to keep going at art, there has to be, you have to be really good at either compromising or finding small improvements in everything to keep yourself going. Otherwise, you burn out super quick because it's very hard. It's very hard to meet your expectations. And then progress always comes and goes. The process is never that clear. You don't know if you're necessarily on the right road or the most efficient road journey to the destination that you want to be at, which you don't even necessarily know where that is specifically either. So you just have to learn to compromise along the way. Find the good stuff that you've done well and praise yourself, pat yourself on the back. And also have a really good motivation to do so. The motivation doesn't necessarily have to come from within either. You can set up an environment like me, like with the streams and stuff, where the motivator is really just not to disappoint, just to be here. And if I'm going to be here, I might as well be drawing, you know. And then that's just kind of how we keep going and going. Yeah, there are just certain parts, I think, of the body that is a lot tighter in terms of the tolerances. You can't really get away with drawing things that are slightly wrong. Like the body, you know, it's like the bones are mostly hidden within. So if you have a little bit more meat here and there, your curve is not as tight and precise. It's fine, right? You get the general shape. But then the feet and the hands, you mess up a little bit, it's very obvious. The face, you pretty much have to get it perfect for whatever it is that you're doing, in my opinion. The alignment must be there for it to even be valid. The tolerance requirement is quite different. Ria's pretty much always gonna have the same dumb look on her face for a while, I think. Until I can figure out what is it that she's supposed to be. She's either gonna have no expression or she's gonna be like, oh. Where's my line failing? Oh, I see. I see, you're failing track because of where she can... Yeah, so basically the wall here for Faye, she's gonna have pictures of mostly Ria, and also maybe one of them together and stuff like that. The thing I'm not sure about is whether if she'll tape over her own face with a sticker or something. I don't know if she'll like... Because she doesn't... Will she hate herself to that extent? Is what I don't know. To be honest, I think I would even not ever have pictures of myself on my wall, even if it's me and my partner or something. It would never be. I don't know if I want to see my own face all the time, to be honest. It's kind of hard because we don't really see it, but the perspective I think should be a little bit more top down. So actually that's third point perspective, I think. I don't really want to draw it, so because it'd be more like this, right, where you just kind of see the shoulders here. Maybe the shoulders actually be more up there. Can't really see it. Hello, Lord. Of course. Hello. Hello. Don't see it. It's so hard. We're getting squares. Instant camera. It's mostly squares, so I don't want to do squares. Squares work for me. Keep it as contained as possible. I don't want to deal with Let me think. Let's get the idea for the last one out first. The ideation is harder than trying to polish it up. So what should the last one be? If it's a landscape one... Dang, what do people take... How do people take photos again? Can't get away for... Reconciliation, that's a lot of point time, I would say. 16 by 9. 16 by 9. Where was that? 8 by 4.5? Landscape. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, sure. I guess it makes sense. It would make sense if like there's two from like the same event, you know, like if she's in the sundress for one of them, maybe they're at the beach and stuff like that, and they can just kind of chain things together. I think that makes it look a little bit more lived in. We'll just do a back view this time. Let me think. It would be nice if the photos themselves tell a story. Now that I think about it, because, but like, it would be from multiple events, right? It would also make sense. I'm just thinking about this because the straw hat has hosts for the years. Would be interesting if she. I mean, Faye would likely be the one that does the cutting. Assuming that the hat doesn't already have the holes for the ears, right? She will be the one that cuts, and then she will hand it over to Ria here, and then Ria will put it on, and then she will snap a photo. How would that look like, though? We do a back view first, and then we'll think about this a bit more. I'm just gonna take the clump here. Wait, hang on a second. Target is Eye level depends on where the camera is relative to the... No line, right? No active lines. You know what? If the comp doesn't make sense, if the comp doesn't look very good with Ria in the background and stuff like that, we just chalk it up to Faye being a bad photographer, not because I'm bad at art. Obviously her fault. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Even the height of this thing, I feel like surely the contents would be a little bit higher. Right? Posts look really boring, but then at the same time, I don't really want to give her too much emotions just yet. Especially not right now, because I cannot evaluate things clearly, apparently, today. Everything is kind of failing. So, it's the case. Want something a little bit more tame. Oops. Oh yes, thank you, Uni. Have a good night. assessment. think some of the other ones has her smiling. As long as she's with Ria, we can make her smile. Otherwise, it's not canon. I don't really know what this perspective is exactly. Just sequence this line. Hello, the virus. Oh, you know what? This framing is wrong. There's no way. Hang on a second. She would most definitely frame Ria more than she would frame herself. This feels more like it. I think... Okay. So there's gonna be a couple more storytelling elements, I imagine, then. We're gonna just have... This is kind of isolated. Doesn't really matter too much. This and the landscape one would probably be the same scene, essentially, at the beach or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this just yet. I don't really like this so far. This one here would be more of a sort of... She's framing her in the middle, rather. Even though she's kind of in the front here, in this case. I'm not so sure. Maybe she got too excited. I'm just trying to justify a bunch of nonsense with nonsense. And then, maybe I have something else like that she taped over her own face later on. And that would be, But, like, I wonder how she would feel about seeing her own face. Like, because, like, if she's miserable all the time... Yeah, like, we need stuff for the photos, man. It was always planned. so that we can do more storytelling, right? And also we're setting up the Homer Simpson meme with the thing. So that instead of 40 emperors, it's for her. Let's say for her. Everything else needs to be covered. We need to cover it for something here. And then later on we can put like a little sticker here or something. Put like a wolf sticker or something. Yeah, how would she feel about this? She'd probably be really annoyed at seeing her own face. How I feel about it? I feel like this needs to be given more thought. Because I don't want to do it haphazardly. We're already kind of making sort of compromises here and there, like the stuffed animals. This is a compromise, by the way, because I want to have more variety and more stuff. And so same for the top as well. These two are already sort of compromises because the brainstorming was gonna take way too long. Yeah, we can always put the sticker on later. I probably have the wrong music for myself for today. It's more EDM. It's more for working on sort of a set. Like once you decide what you want to do, you just kind of EDM blast it, and then I can hit the rhythm, and then we just keep going based on the rhythm. But because today is more brainstormy, it is not very good for it. I just realized this should be in front, I think. The ribbon is way in the back. Easy fix. And then yeah, so these ones are ready to go because being as small as they are, honestly, this is way too much fidelity, way too much detail here. I don't even know if the face can be rendered properly. The only reason I did this like this is that potentially we might do like a quick sketch, like a color sketch, so that on the website eventually when it's set up, when people mouse over this, they can actually see the photos a little bit clearer. At this point, it's turning out to be a point-and-click adventure game that we're planning here, but it's good. It's good, I suppose. This is a cancel. That's a rep. So I want Ria's ears over here. Wait, I need to sequence this. Oh right, I forgot. I knew something was missing here. Wait a second. Oh no, this is the only one that matters. Also, wait a second. I'm gonna forget about this. I'm gonna leave this line here. Something felt wrong here. I was like, something must be here? No, it's like over here. Let's see. It should just go off frame here. I think that's kind of funny. It's not even able to contain it. And then her arm is gonna be over here. The other arm is gonna be over here. And what's the interaction in between? Who's on top? I think Faye will be on top. Boobas will be on top. Can we see it? Should be more space here, right? So it will be a bit lower here. I really don't want to have to flesh out the lines and consolidate and make it really clear or something. It's gonna take way too long, I think. This hair too. This hair. Decrease. I mean, it's just maybe flat. Let's just do what's most convenient here then. By the way, the idea of the hair here is that she brushed it out with her ear and then she's resting her ear on her face, on her head a little bit. So everything is getting brushed up here. This should be enough to sequence, I think. And then we'll just leave it for the actual thing. And then the last one will be this guy. What is good? Oh my god, this is a atrocious piece of AI generated art, but it's giving me some ideas here. Dang. But it's kind of hard though. It's a very complex pose. If we're doing her, like, making her squatting over squatting. Yeah, squatting, right? It's called squatting? Oh my god, what's the weird feel so weird? Word feels so weird here. Maybe she's like looking at like seashells on the ground or some shit. Might be interesting. Very hard to execute. I'm thinking from like the perspective of Faye, right? Like if so, given that Ria basically doesn't have any emotions at this point, still I haven't really decided what to do with her in that regard. From Faye's point of view, it would basically be she would basically be taking pictures whenever she thinks like the scene is cute, or Ria is showing some kind of individuality, like where she's kind of just going off on her own, doing something by herself. So stuff like examining seashells, interesting, right? Because you wouldn't see that behavior on a daily basis, and it's worth taking a photo and framing it up. Well, not framing it up, but like putting it on the wall. I mean, but this analysis is also kind of pointless. It can be anything we want. It can be something interesting when she's doing something interesting because of the aforementioned logic, or it could also just be nothing. It could just be her standing and walking very normally. because there just simply isn't anything else to take. But actually, wouldn't it be more interesting if the last piece didn't even have Ria's face? Like, in the sense, like, it's not about her specifically, but about her actions. So, let's say instead of like redrawing Ria picking up seashells, it could be her holding seashells in her hands, and we're kind of taking photos of the seashells itself. But then, like, and the reason why that would make sense is that, like, you know, it's like interesting. She presented these things. These things are clearly interesting to her for whatever reason, so it's worth documenting. But at the same time, like, why would Faye put up just the seashells, right? She would take more photos that shows Ria with the seashells, and then she'll put that up instead. That would make way more sense. So we still kind of want her in the photo. It's my conclusion, I think. After talking it out like this. I do kind of want a backview just so for variety. Squatting is also a really good idea though. Broski, broski. So blind today, holy shit. No activation. I'm thinking out the scene, right? Like, if she's, oh man, if Ria is truly squatting over like all these seashells and she's picking them up, if she's in a sundress, she's gonna get the dress dirty. She's not gonna care, right? Ria's not gonna care if her hair, her tail, and her dress is gonna get dirty. But Faye would. So Faye wouldn't have time to take the photo. She'll go down and make sure that the dress doesn't get dirty. So this picture also couldn't really exist if this thing plays out. I think this is like a place that we can compromise. I don't think anyone's gonna read that far in. Especially because in this case, it's a lack of existence, right? It's a non-existence of the photo that is doing the storytelling. But it's non-existing, like any other combination, a possibility also doesn't exist. So it's not really a valid thing to sort of read off of. That's interesting though, interesting. Oh, you know what it could also be? It could also be a photo that Ria herself took. And that's why the photo is interesting. How about that? I'm trying to weasel my way out of drawing something difficult. Because if I justify like this, I can just draw like seashells and that's it. I don't have to do anything. I just draw like a star on the ground and I'll be done. But I mean, like, if that's the case, I can just add another photo. I don't have to use this big one. I can just have another photo on the side. And that would be fine. Okay, great. I talked myself back into doing this again. God damn it. It's so stupid, right? Like, I'm just kind of sitting here talking. We're not making any physical, like actual physical progress, but at the same time, we're also kind of flashing out everything. There's still a lot of sort of storytelling decisions in the back. But I still haven't done anything. I still haven't put pixels down yet. What do? Maybe we okay. How about this? There's a whole nonsense about Faye would make sure that the dress doesn't get dirty. But maybe it's happened so many times now that she doesn't care anymore. And she figured that the capturing the moment is more important. We can really justify this any way we want, huh? Huh. We can really just do some mental gymnastics and it would just work, huh? Hmm. Let me think. How about this? I'm just gonna make her pick up seashells. Um, and then in the document that I'm when we present the ideas and we present the final piece, I'm gonna lay out all of the considerations and all of these extra ideas. And we're gonna borrow the post from this one so that we stay on track here. Because I think the seashell idea is interesting. Because we can show her doing something. And my current idea for Ria is that she doesn't necessarily have a personality or a lot of emotion and stuff. But there will be certain random things that kind of catches her attention. And then she would just be very sort of hyper focused for a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know where we're going with Ria just yet, honestly. The plan is to have her develop, sort of, well, not really develop, but recover her personality and recover a lot of things over time as we are doing more pieces like this. So for now, not having anything is just setting up for later. It's not because she's like, uh, mentally disabled or anything like that. Specific. I mean, in this case, I guess she effectively is at this point. And you know what? Like, okay, the stupid dress thing. I think it's valid consideration. But at the same time, if Faye is really so weary of it, she could just tie up the clothing or something. She could just roll it up into a ball and then shove it underneath into the shirt so that it stays in place. So the sundress stays dry. Oh, but then wouldn't she be butt naked? Wait, hang on. Because Veer is not gonna care that the dress is rolled up. Oh wow, this is gonna be hard. Not to mention, I feel like this angle is a little bit awkward. Because I would personally take the photo not from the side like this. I would take it from behind the shoulders. Wow, how am I supposed to draw this? This is so hard. The head is here. Because this is not just like this pose, right? If we're doing it behind the shoulders from like right here, the perspective on the body is really intense. Because the face would be like, holy shit, how am I supposed to, what? I don't know if you even read too. Might be really hard to read as well. This is insane. Why am I doing this? Yeah, maybe not do that. Maybe not do that. Maybe actually finish the piece, huh? Still want to approach from a back view though. Let me see. Can I find something? Oh. So much work. Oh, no way, dude. Okay, hang on. No fucking way. This is kind of nice. Wait a second. Is there another one? The music done? Oh, it is. Alright, whoops. Framing would be what? I'm really just gonna do some weird cuts here, and then I will blame it on Faye for being a bad photographer. Not my fault. Actually, how would you take this photo though? Yeah, I don't know. Because the space that they exist in is like this. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Oh, I'll make it so that she's using the straw hat to carry shit. It'd be kind of interesting. I just don't know how to draw straw hat physics. How is this supposed to look like? How about this? So I need the ground first. I need to see the perspective. We know that the straw hat has a hard bit, right? The round bit is kind of hard. But the flaps are kind of soft, so I'm expecting it to be propped up by the tip. This top part will maintain its shape. But like the bottom here would be kind of bent because it's just hitting the ground. So it would follow the perspective of the ground. This is kind of big for her head, but it looks really weird. Not much I can do about it though. I don't know how it's supposed to work. Fast effort. It's a rather irregular shape in perspective, plus some physics. is very challenging. Just have some sand over here or some shit. I'll draw the shells some other time. We won't need it this time. All that effort, by the way, for like this right here, this tiny little area. What's a good way to tie up the hair, actually? Okay. Yeah, we definitely have some problems here with the dress. Let me think about this a bit more. Okay, we're gonna try and prove this, right? Like mathematically. So, fact number 1, right? Ria's not gonna care about her tail getting dirty, dress getting dirty, hair getting dirty. Not at this stage. Fact number 2, Faye is gonna care. So Faye would obviously try to do something. And given that you can't really predict what Ria is gonna do at any point in time, it might kind of make sense for some of these things to already be done as a precaution, or she kind of just gave up. That's also possible. The give up option is a lot easier because I don't have to do anything special. I don't have to do anything different. We just render the current pose. We just put in the physics for the hair, for the tail, for the dress, and then that's it. The other option is that she somehow managed to tie everything up. Hair makes sense. You can kind of maybe just like turn it into a bun or something. I don't know how much hair, how big the bun would be given her amount of hair. The tail maybe it could have been like tied to the hair or something, just kind of lifted up a little bit. But the dress wouldn't make any sense. There's no good way to do it without making it look very, shall we say, indecent, I think. Because you have to lift it up really high if you're squatting like this. So I can't really draw that like that. So I think we just go with the option where we just kind of render it as is. It's pretty much going to cover everything, I would say. I see it. See it. See it. Yeah, I hope it's readable though. If we put like one shell here and then just kind of have her hands in the sand, I think it would deliver the idea pretty well. Now the only thing is I haven't been to a beach in like at least like 2 decades or something. I have no idea. But like, where are the shells found? Is it by the waterline? Or is it just everywhere? Oh no, shit! Now I'm getting a bunch of AI pictures for stuff like this. This is the worst because I don't know what's right. I'm looking for the correct answer and I'm getting AI for this shit. How in the bloody hell do I remove all the AI stuff? Oh, I know. Look for like... Wait, hang on. Oh, okay. I mean, Wikipedia... This photo looks pretty legit. Just gonna grab it. Should be pretty close to the water, I imagine. So we have our sequence here. Wait, I just need the box. Give me the box. What? Yeah, maybe the head isn't positioned the best, actually. But oh no, this also makes sense, right? Granted that if this is the water, you're not gonna butt face the water. That'll be really awkward because you're approaching the sea, right? So the sea will be in front of you. And you wouldn't want the head to be sort of washed away. So I guess it would make sense that the head is to the side rather than in front of her, which would be more natural for you to like shove things in. So if that's the case, this kind of makes sense. And I'll put the water somewhere here. Alright, this is a mess. So what now should be just putting it in to here. Let me think about this real quick. So what I'm thinking is, do I want to draw each of these sketches, get a color rough in, and then put that into the position? Or do I want to do it just like this now? I think the answer is to just have a placeholder for now. So what's going to happen is that once this part is done, we're doing the base colors, right? And after the base colors, we just have to go straight into After Effects because I need to know what After Effects can do and how much we want to do and what's going to be done eventually. From there, we create the first composite. Based on that composite's effect and based on what we have experienced, I'm going to revisit this and maybe make some changes here and there, depending on how it will fit into the actual process of doing the After Effects stuff. So, well, even if that's not the case, we can always just put in a more polished version later too. It's not like we can't change anything. So Actually, if that's the case, that means I don't even need this right now. I can just ignore all the work that we've done today for now. And we can just start the color rough right now, actually. Oh shit, I have to figure out face body. God damn it, dude. I keep forgetting. Okay, this is the last thing, right? No, it's not actually the last thing. God damn it. We still have like the stickers and stuff. I don't know what to do with them. I think we'll just paint them in eventually. We do definitely have to take care of face body here. So let's do this first. Which one is she? She's here. Oh, what's this stuff? Oh my god. I see like lines here. Isn't there a sketch layer that has that? Dang it. This layer? What was this layer? Wow, okay. Congrats. Anyways, I have to decipher my nonsense here. I think the original intention was for the year to kind of block everything. I also probably just ignored it. Because it's very early in the process. Let me see. So, right, the clothing will kind of play a part here. So if the year's dodge out of the way, we can technically see the front of the torso still. Oh no, but my pose is slightly different. I'd probably like see like the boobs from like top view or something. So it'd be like here somewhere. Yeah, okay, shit, how do I even do this? I didn't plot the original, like, what's the word? Like, perspective and torso and all that, so... That's the head is over here, right? So, even if I do want... The shoulders will have to fit this position. Even if it's going this way, it will be still be pretty biased to this side. But then the arms are like over there. Shoulder seems to be here. Pretty wide shoulders. I mean, like, yes, the human proportion, proper human setup here, I guess. The crotch is here. Pelvis is here. I guess my torso is stretching from here to here. Perspective looks really bad here. Right, it would be more like this, right? The box. So it points down. And then this part here is more like that way. Perhaps. I don't think this lines up to the head. Because my head is pointing pretty much straight this way. So what that means is let's say the top of the head is here. Does that work? I mean, like, the reference kind of looks like that, does it not? Maybe a bit more overlapping instead of being so far up, but an anime proportion. Yeah, that's fine, I think. So from here, what do I do here? So what, the boobas are here? But the arm seems so far away. I don't know. Yeah. Uh, The annoying thing is that this part catches light too. So it has to kind of look like it makes sense. I think the best solution here would be to use a 3D model. And then work off of that, I think. Because I don't trust my own construction here. This is pretty much the same pose. Right, because we're just doing this. Yeah, it looks kind of okay, I think. The hips are a little bit more... Oh, right, I forgot that it does that. Yeah, I don't really have to change it either. I just have to look at the boobas in relation to the face, so it's like somewhere here. Let me just move the arms up a little bit. I guess this is not actually moved. Okay, I guess. Oops. Yeah, perspective is not quite the same, is it? How's she doing that, actually? Oh, yeah. We're not the same, quite the same setup anyways. So what? Here? These legs are a bit too thick for her, I think. I'm gonna make her slimmer later. Be more rigorous with this. Damn it. So which way is tilting where? Oh my god. And the target is here. It's here. I mean that it's a minor turn. More flat, I think maybe? And then the widest part would be delayed a little bit further back. So essentially we're saying this is the top of it. So rather than being this flat, the tummy is like more in the front here, like over here instead. I cannot see this angle, I can't see it at all. Maybe mine has more space here. Right. It's either really lean back. No, but what if it's like this? Yeah, it's like a broken body. Kind of the same, though. Oh, I guess this actually goes into the darkness. Okay, here. I think that's the limit of myself, as in a little bit further away from the table now all of a sudden, but like we can always just extend the line of the table out. It's not really a problem. I think this leg kind of works because it is touching the edge of the table. So I do this myself as well. And then I'll get a rash at the leg because the paint on the table will give me an allergic reaction or something. But yeah, we'll have to shift this out a little bit, I think. Get a little bit more desk space, maybe. Okay, I mean, we did what we set out to do today, I guess. At least we managed to get all the sketches planned out. And also for the purpose of this illustration, I guess they are ready to go. Well, not quite. I still have to finish the lines first. Same for the body here. Body, we can decide on what to make her wear now that the body is kind of put into the space here. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the current plotting, it doesn't mean that she's wearing underwear only. It's just, I'm just trying to see the shape where everything goes. Which I don't think I got it right, actually. Oh no, but our torso is turned slightly differently, I think. It looks way too oh, right, I see what's the issue here. Because the body isn't like a round circle, it's more like a flatter part on the front. I'm gonna make this a little bit flatter. Of course, this part's not gonna be visible, so that's I'm just gonna ignore it. And then the crotch here seems to lack a little bit of form, I think. The muscle groups between all the legs here, I'm not 100% sure. This leg also, they don't seem like they have the same thickness either, so it's a bit of a problem everywhere so far. But I think the rough shape setup, it's kind of right. Because where the crotch is pointing, where are the hips pointing? This line suggests it's kind of going this way a bit, but the legs are going that way. So I do have to compromise for the legs, I think. So it'll be more flat this way. How would it work actually? I might bump up the noise on the hair here so I don't have to figure out the other part. It's a lot easier when it's just one part. Oh, I guess it's behind the hands too. Okay, that makes it a lot easier then. Because like this shows the specific form of the form. And if this part is not good, it will look like it's a bit weird. So if we can't see it, that's great. Oh, but anyways, this is it for today. Tomorrow I just decide on what to make her wear, and then we can have different versions too. Actually, it's not really a problem. We finish up the lines for Rhea quickly, then we can start our color rough, and then we can start plotting the light shapes already tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? So I predict by Thursday we should be ready to jump into AE already. Because once the colors start going in, it should be pretty quick. As long as we can get the initial vibe of the colors ready, done correctly. Which we do have a color... Okay, where they go? Uh-oh. Oh my god. Oh, where to go? Anyway, so we do have a lighting slash color ref this time, so it should be okay. Also, because it's a monochromatic palette, I don't imagine this will go wrong too badly. But that being said, it's got its own set of challenges because we do have a lot of materials and items, and they all have different colors too. So we have to make it work within the space that is a monochromatic palette. Where the hell is my lighting reference? Did I move it out? Oh, I did move it out, okay. It'd be a lot bluer. Right, but the darker stuff would be about the same darkness. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. For joining me today. We are getting close to setting up the effects and stuff. And then after that, I always see what happens. But have a good night, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.